People. Week 3, morning games, afternoon games are all in the books. The only game that we're looking forward to now is Sunday night football and Monday night football. I want to give you the instant reactions to everything that has just transpired just a couple minutes ago. And make sure you stick around here so we can all talk about it. Hot takes, uh, hot cakes, whatever the heck you want to say. Make sure you go ahead and stick around here on People's Debate.
First off, thank God, praise the Lord, that we can talk about it. Let's talk about it. Come on, let's see what you say. It's the People's Debate. Sports mailman Joe with the news. White T Cody opposing views. Sheriff West got picks for you. Milton is the glue. But your thoughts make this click. Opinion, raise questions. What you got to say, quick give. It's the People's Debate. It's the People's Debate.
Well, week 3, majority of week 3 is in the books. We got AFC South matchups. One team scored more than 2 of the teams that played earlier in the same time frame. We got Seattle marched on the Saints. We got Baker and the game as the game-winning drive, fourth quarter comeback king. We got Atlanta having more passing, rushing yards, first downs, no sacks allowed, but losing 0-30. We also got the Rams scoring 26. However, the Philadelphia Eagles score 26 points in the second half. And, of course, we have the 5 blocked field goals, 2 of them for a touchdown. There's a lot that went on week 3. A lot of wild stuff. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for being here whenever you are here. I am the host of the People's Debate Football Pod. And I wanted to talk about week 3 before the night game happens. So let's do that. Real quick, let me put this banner up there, so everybody knows what we're talking about. Again, I am the host of the People's Debate Football Pod. The name, you don't need to know. You should already know. And if you don't know, shame on you. Let's start off by saying what a freaking week so far. We had so many close games, so many games that came down to the last drive. We had a couple blowouts that I don't think people anticipated. Cowboy fans. And we had, Falcon fans. And we had some upsets. We had the Browns taking a Brown on the Packers in a good way this time, Let's just talk about it. Whenever anyone starts joining, please give me your thoughts about what has transpired so far this week. Well, in this day, Sunday football. And let's talk about it. I'll just go in order. Of course, we had the Dolphins needing to come up for air, honestly. The Bills stampede the Dolphins. It was close for a while, but, I mean, we all know. We all know it was never close. We all know it was never close. The Buffalo Bills win. The Dolphins are now 0-3. There is some bright spots for Miami, especially when it comes to the offense. The defense is absolutely terrible. 100%. It is absolutely terrible. The Bills didn't play that great, but, I mean, you scored 31. What can you say? Next game that I want to talk about is going to be the AFC South showdown, the Houston Texans against the Jacksonville Jaguars. I told everybody that I had the Houston Texans starting the season 0-3. And here they are, 0-3. The Jacksonville Jaguars sneak a win for the Houston Texans Offensive line is terrible. The offensive coordinator and play calling is terrible. CJ Stroud does not look great. The defense looks great. Jacksonville, honestly, I mean, you could make the argument for either side, but Jacksonville should have won this game by much more. Trevor Lawrence, he had a bad interception. I think he was trying to do too much because all of his wide receivers, other than his tight end, were dropping the dang ball. That is the huge issue, even though they won, coming out of Jacksonville. Again, nonetheless, they are 2-1, second place in the AFC South, and the Houston Texans are tied with last place at 0-3. Shout out to CJ Stroud, got his first touchdown pass, which is absolutely absurd. The Texans, is it time to panic? Join us Wednesday live, 7:40 p.m. Central Time, because we'll talk about it there. But Texans are 0-3. Jacksonville Jaguars now are 2-1. Moving on to probably the biggest upset of the week. Not score related, nothing of that sort, but just the biggest upset of the week has to go to the Cleveland Browns beating the Green Bay Packers. Hold on. Green Bay was setting up for the game-winning field goal, and then boom, bada bing, bada boom, it gets blocked. Cleveland Browns take over, and they actually get the game-winning field goal. And I have to say this. It's a big upset, yes. Green Bay defensively, they're still good. Not because of what they did today. It's the freaking Browns offense. But the Browns defense, I'm pretty sure, everybody was talking about Green Bay. I'm pretty sure the Browns defense is number 1 overall in yards. This is an instant reaction. I didn't really look at anything. I didn't look at stats. I didn't look at to make sure that everything I'm saying is factually, objectively correct. But I watched all the games. Well, majority of the games. I don't watch all the games. I watched this game. And I watched all the Browns games, unfortunately. Defensively, they are very, very, very good. All they need is competent quarterback play, which they got Joe Flacco to make that fourth quarter game-winning drive. Judkins looks good. And the Cleveland Browns upset the Green Bay Packers. They take a Brown in not at Lambeau Field, but they take a Brown at Cleveland, beating the Green Bay Packers. Then we had, let's actually talk about the Bengals and Vikings. Bengals losing 10-48. Now, anybody in their right mind will say, oh, it's 2 backup quarterbacks, not much to see here, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And normally I would agree with you. However, the Vikings defense looked wildly fantastic. I get it's good against Jake Browning. This is what they're supposed to do against those kind of quarterbacks, and they did it. They stopped the run. Offensively, they didn't make too many mistakes. Let's see real quick. You look at the Vikings. Carson Wentz, 14-20, 173 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. He didn't have the greatest game, but he did what he had to do. Jordan Mason, again, I hate saying that all the time. When the defense is working, you have to be able to maximize the running game. And that's what Minnesota Vikings did. Jordan Mason had over 100 yards, averaging 7 yards a carry. That's how you do it. That is 100% how you do it. Carson Wentz, his main targets was Justin Jefferson and TJ Hawkinson. That's how you do it as a backup. When you go to the other side, and Jake Browning, 140 yards, 19 of 27, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions, sacked 3 times. And, of course, his targets went to Jamar Chase and Noah Fant. Ain't that something? T. Higgins had 2 targets. That, my friends, is how you lose a game. And in incredibly embarrassing fashion. That's what they did. let's go to another a pretty hilarious outing of the Atlanta Falcons getting smoked by the Carolina Panthers. It's absolutely terrible. You know what? Before we go to that game, let's do this. Somebody's watching. Eye emoji. One, thank you for being here. Make sure you subscribe, brethren, please. Let's talk about this game real quick. Bro, the Cowboys defense is so terrible. And I agree with you. Let's actually dive in to that game. While I was watching, at first it seemed like it was a good game. I think it's as far as the offense was moving the ball, they established the run. Unfortunately, that fumble kind of had like writing on the wall, even though Javonte Williams played great. He played good. Let me say good. Let me not say great. He played good. He averaged over 7 yards a carry. He wasn't allowed to carry it as much as they wanted to because they were down so much. Now, let's talk about it. Yes, you are right, my good friend. Your defense is absolutely terrible. Your secondary is absolutely terrible. Your safeties suck. Your corners suck. Caleb Williams, 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, 19 of 28, almost 300 yards. I am a Caleb fan. I think Caleb he got beat up last year, figuratively and literally. And he got a lot of pushback and a lot of claims were out there specifically stating that he was already a bust. And again, your defense does suck, Cowboy fans. But Caleb cooked. Ben Johnson cooked. The running game wasn't that great. So Jerry got his wish, right? Jerry was on record saying, well, I think now Michael couldn't stop the run. I don't think he said that exactly, so excuse me. Kenny Clark can stop the run, and that is true. They only allowed 87 total rushing yards. That was with the quarterback, wide receiver, trick plays, and all that kind of stuff. 3 yards a carry. That's all they allowed on 29 carries. That's all they allowed. But receiving, they allowed 298. 15 yards per reception, 4 touchdowns. A lot of big plays were to be had on the Dallas Cowboys. Shout out to Chicago because offensively, they're looking better and better. Even though they got shellacked against Detroit last week, the offense didn't look too bad. The defense looked very bad. They changed that up, and they looked pretty good against the Cowboys team, even when CD was in the game. I don't want to really hear that. The reason why they lost in general. If they lost by this much because of that, fair enough. But they lost no matter what, if CD played or not. They would have lost this game because that defense absolutely is terrible. I appreciate that, man. I do. My impressions aren't really great, but I appreciate when I get some recognition that it's decent. But yes, Cowboys, I think Dak Prescott, yes, he threw that bad interception. I understand. I don't want to hear that because I already saw it on social media. Dak Prescott needs to go. Oh, my goodness. Dak got to go. We got to get Dak out of here. Dak's not the reason y'all lost 31-14. Just let's make that clear. Okay? The first drive that was ending up well, it was a fumble by Javonte Williams. Dak made a lot of very good throws. One interception was because of George Pickens. It was right in George Pickens' hands, and he gave it to Tremaine Edmonds. Shout out to Tremaine Edmonds. Tremaine Edmonds, out of nowhere, 2 interceptions. A linebacker. Irony, Matt Eberflus, the defense coordinator for the Dallas Cowboys now, loved the linebacker. He's a linebackers coach. He loved Edmonds, and Edmonds showed out just for his old coach. That's true love. Okay? That's true love. But I don't want to hear the Dak Prescott weird narrative that Dak Prescott is the reason why we suck. Your defense absolutely sucks. If you want to put the blame on Jerry Jones, that's fine. You want to put the blame on Matt Eberflus? That's fine. If you want to put the blame on the defense, that's absolutely fine. I don't want to hear the Dak stuff. Dak made a lot of great throws. His stat line should be much better than it is. But his defense sucks, and his wide receivers didn't look out for him. Sorry. Brandon, howdy, brother. What the hell is happening? Are you referring to the Cowboys, or are you referring to your team that is 0-3? Brandon, one of our most faithful commenters, part of the people, is a Texans fan, and the Texans are 0-3, and they absolutely do not look good offensively, and I don't think it's going to get better. Sorry. Nico, shout out to Nico. Nico's a great guy. But I think it's time to panic. Houston. Actually, I think I got one. Here you go.
Houston, we have a problem.
Yep. Houston, we have a problem. All right. Let's get into, there was a game I was just about to discuss. Where was I going? Oh, the Falcons and Panthers. Absolutely hilarious. Falcons had, here, I put the note here. Falcons had more passing yards, rushing yards, first downs. They allowed no sacks. They had the same amount of punts. And they lost 0-30. Where do you put the blame? I don't know. How do you get that? Is that a first time? I don't know. I think so. I don't know. Okay. All right. Here we go. All right, man. Let's look. How about them patrons, eh? That's uncalled for. Let's let me finish the Falcons Panthers. Stick around, and right after we'll talk about that stupid game. Carolina Panthers. Bryce Young didn't look good, but he did what he had to do. Michael Penix looked very bad, actually. The running game was going-ish. Chuba Hubbard looked good. Offensively, they didn't look good. But Michael Penix looked that much worse. They didn't allow Bijan Robinson to cook. Just everything that could go wrong for the Falcons did go wrong by the Falcons. And they lost to a divisional rival that they were a big favorite on, 30-0. So yeah, that's a bummer there. So let's actually go to my guy. Somebody's watching the freaking Patriots, I guess, huh? Or you're probably just watching the box score, so you saw how we freaking lost, huh? That's all right, dude. That's all right. Let's talk about it. I just want to make sure I get my stuff right, because I know our turnovers were absolutely terrible. There it is. All right. Okay, let's talk about it, actually. The Pittsburgh Steelers against the New England Patriots. Why do we suck at home? I don't know. I do not know. I don't get it. Why do we suck so much at home? Pittsburgh Steelers win 21-14. The freaking Patriots, we were on the goal line. Ramondre Stevenson fumbles. We have a 6-minute drive, 7-minute drive, a beautiful 17 play, something like that, going towards the end of the first half. Drake May, should we have ran it? Possibly. I'm not against that. Drake May throws. He has the right idea. Booty's wide open. Booty's wide open. Booty's wide open. Yeah. Bruh. Booty's wide open. Let me. Damn it. Okay. Okay. Keyshawn is wide open. However, the ball gets tipped and it's an interception. 5 total freaking turnovers compared to 1 by Pittsburgh, which was a wild, I don't know what Aaron Rodgers was thinking there. Nonetheless, that's 2 scores. We scored 14. That's 28. We should have 28 freaking points. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. I understand that. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. I get it. But we are 1-2 now. The Pittsburgh Steelers are 2-1. We cost ourselves the game. It's a learning curve, and I hope we learn from it. First year head coach Mike Vrabel. Offensive coordinator Josh McDaniels back. The play calling was not bad. Our players have to hold the ball. Not give the other team this many chances. And we lose the game. Again, we're 1-2. We freaking, gosh, man, freaking suck. We suck for that, honestly. We do. Whatever. Actually, let me look at something. Passing first downs, we had it. Rushing first downs, we had it. Total plays, we had it. Total yards, we had it. Yards per play, we had it. Passing yards, we had it. Completion percentage, I think we had it. Sacks, we were sacked 5 times. So we did not have it. Rushing yards, we had it. Yards per attempt, we had it. Penalties, Pittsburgh had more penalties. We had it. Possession time, 33 minutes to 26. We won every single freaking thing. And we freaking lost. We lost. We lost. All right. Whatever. We're 1-2. Hopefully we'll learn from it. Well, whatever. Join Wednesday, 7:40 p.m. on the People's Debate channel. Our live football podcast will take place there. Be there so we can go a little bit further into it. Chi-Town, the Bears. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I just talked about that game, so I'm not going to go back into it. But I had y'all winning. I knew it would be, I thought it would be a offensive shootout on both sides. It was only offensive shootout for y'all. So, real quick, give a couple of to the Bears. All right, another game. Next game I want to discuss before kickoff occurs. The Jets and Buccaneers. Jets block a field goal. They block a field goal. It looks like, for a touchdown, it looks like the Jets just pulled the upset. I was in the comments on a couple different podcasts and said, I do have the Buccaneers winning, but I can see the Jets upsetting the Buccaneers because I think it'll be a close game. And it looked like that was happening. But the man that there's only been 3 games played. The man that has 3 game-winning drives, 3 fourth-quarter comebacks. Well, I don't know about the fourth quarter. 3 game-winning drives. Baker freaking Mayfield. Right now, 3 weeks in, Baker Mayfield is the comeback kid. He is Mr. Clutch himself. And you got to give respect. Got to give respect to Baker. Nice. Commanders win 41. Oh, actually, Jets lose 27. Buccaneers 29. Commanders win 41-24 to the Raiders. Raiders suck, guys. Okay? I know they beat us. I got it. We kind of suck right now. As far as our players. Our players aren't playing. So. Yep. I'm glad you agree. Baker is Captain Comeback. He sure the freak is, dude. He sure is. Got to give Baker his credit. I love what Baker is doing. But back on the Raiders and Commanders, everybody, including myself, thought the Raiders will probably win by default because Jaden Daniels isn't there. Marcus Mariota sucks. Right? Wrong. Geno Smith did not have a bad game whatsoever. Almost 300 yards. Sacked 5 times for 28 yards. That's unfortunate. So 261 net yards. Marcus Mariota, 15 of 21, 207 yards, 1 touchdown. McNichols had that, 60-yard run? I'm not going to count the 4 carries, 78 yards. He had 60-yard run. Marcus Mariota had 40 yards on the ground. Yeah, the Raiders defense sucks. Raiders suck at general. Special teams sucks. Everything sucks about the Raiders. Special teams especially. So, shout out to Washington. I shouldn't have faded you, but I thought that was a smart decision. I guess not. Never bet on the Raiders, fellas, ladies and gentlemen. Never bet on the Raiders. Other game. Here we go. There's a game I want to talk about. Okay? Indiana Jones saga continues. Okay? I said I was going to be humble and chill out, and I'm still going to chill out a little bit because this next week, there's a real threat. The Indianapolis Colts beat the brakes off the Tennessee Titans 41-20. And it's looking good. If anybody's been watching the show, keeping up with the takes, I am the only one out of anybody that I know that have the Indianapolis Colts winning the AFC South. Everybody laughed at me. Everybody laughed at me. And it is early. Okay? Next week, they play the Los Angeles Rams. I'm telling you right now, if they beat the Los Angeles Rams, I don't care how. Unless, Matt Stafford gets hurt. I am not going to be as humble. Okay? I'm not. Everybody laughed at me. I made beautiful arguments on how this is going to happen. I made sound judgments on exactly why Daniel Jones is a good, let's say, point guard for this team. He's not the main attraction. He's not the playmaker. I never, ever once thought that. Right now, he's playing like it, but I'm not saying he is. Okay? Not saying he is. But he is a not perfect. He is a good chess piece for a Shane Steichen-led offense. Shane Steichen wants to get the ball off quick, run the ball, and occasionally have bootlegs and go deep. And Daniel Jones is running that offense as good as anyone is expected. If we look at everything, the quarterbacks right now, Daniel Jones, 3 weeks in, is going to be a top 3 MVP candidate. You can't lie to yourself. You could say it's because of competition. You could say it's this. You could say it's that. I'm just saying, I'm not saying he is going to be. I'm saying right now, 3 weeks in, he is a top 3. He is playing at a top 3 level per quarterbacks. Top 5. Let's just give top 5. Thus far, the Colts offense looks like a MFing problem. A real problem. I'm going to hold off one more week. I am. Because everybody said, you got to hold off 2 weeks. What about your Saints take last year? I, of course, tell everybody there's context with that. It's not like I was, but I understand it. So I said, I'll hold off. And I was going to go bonkers Wednesday, 7:40 p.m. on the People's Debate channel. But I'm going to chill. I'm going to chill until after week 4. We're going to do a quarterly progress report show, and we're going to rank the quarterbacks. We're going to rank all these different things that we ranked in the beginning of the season for our way too early predictions. We're going to come back to that. And we're just going to do that every quarter, every 4 weeks, 8 weeks. Then at the end of the year, 16 weeks. Right at the end. And if this continues, again, after week 4, I am no longer being humble about it. I am going to attack anybody that's trying to attack the Colts. Okay? I want everybody to understand that. If you think that this is a fluke, if they win next week and they're 4-0, I'm not going to allow any slander happen. Because it was a bold take that I made, and I'm going to, I'm sticking by it now, but I'm not going on the attack. I'm going to stay on the defense like I've been. After week 4, telling you. But shout out to the Colts, Titans. Cam Ward, you're great, dude. You still got rookie mistakes. You're a freaking rookie. Everything else with the Titans, like a brilliant mind from the Poodle Pink J Sports said, Mr. Jose, throw it all away. Throw it all away. Okay. Cardinals, 49ers. Cardinals, listen, look. Everybody that was hyping the Cardinals, you got to chill now. They lost. Oh, it was a close game. Yeah. To a team without their starting quarterback. That everybody makes fun of Mac Jones. Mac Jones beat you. He had the fourth quarter comeback. He had the game-winning drive on your defense. Your defense looks good. Your offense looks terrible. Not terrible. Looks bad. Sorry. Being a little hyperbolic. It's just an instant reaction. I don't have a lot of facts behind me. I have what I saw and all that. So, Cardinals lose 15-16 to the 49ers. 49ers 3-0 with all the injuries that they have. Looks like I might be right about who's going to win the NFC West. It's early. I understand that. Just let me have some fun, okay? Let me have some freaking fun. Seahawks beat the brakes off the Saints. I'm not going to say really anything about this other than thank you, K9, for scoring the touchdowns. Thank you, Jackson Smith-Njigba, for doing your thing, helping my fantasy team out. The Broncos lose a nail biter to the Los Angeles Chargers. Broncos don't look great. J.K. Dobbins was okay in spots. Very inconsistent as far as drives. I don't know if I put the blame on really him or I put the blame on Sean Payton or I just am not giving enough credit to the Los Angeles Chargers. I don't know which one of those three is right. But I know all three are in my mind right now. I will say Justin freaking Herbert has to be the number 1 MVP candidate, in my opinion. He has to be. At the end, the throw he made for the touchdown to Keenan Allen, the torque that he put on his body, the everyone knows he can sling the rock. He can throw the ball. He's a good thrower of the ball. What he did in clutch time against very close, very, very sticky coverage in the end zone. I'm a fan, dude. I'm a fan. He has to be, it's early, but if there was a MVP caliber list, he's number 1. Justin Herbert is the MVP of the league right now. Just got to say it. If you agree, whatever, cool, thanks. If you disagree, argue with me. Let's debate it. I think I went over all the games. Rams, Eagles. Did I go over that? That was my introduction monologue. Rams scored 26 points. Eagles scored 26 in the second half. I have a lot of respect for the Eagles. They are going to probably be the number 1 team that I have in the power, not your average Joe's power rankings. They went down to number 3 because offensively, their offense showed up in the second half. Even without a complete, real, a threatening rushing game. The Rams, the last 2 matchups, got sliced and diced by Saquon. This game, they held Saquon to 2.6 yards per carry. Only 46 yards on 18 carries. Yet, Jalen Hurts had to beat him, and he did. I give all the respect to the Philadelphia Eagles. Not going to lie, though. Your offensive coordinator still kind of sucks. Okay? Just thought I'd put that out there. Jalen Hurts, Smitty, A.J. Brown, don't suck at all. So, shout out to them. I'm very upset. I had the Rams covering. They didn't have to flat out win. They had to cover the 3.5. And once they blocked the field goal, that's all I needed. But no, Jordan Davis wants to be a freaking track star and run in the end zone and get a touchdown. There goes my luck. There goes my underdog of the week. That really, yeah, I feel like a 3.5. That's enough. 3.5. That's all I needed. And I was right there. Golly, dude. Jordan freaking Davis. You're fast, huh? We all okay. You didn't have to prove it at that point. Jeez Louise. But yes, that is all the games of the Sunday special. Early Sunday games and the mid Sunday games as far as the afternoon games. Now we are very close to kickoff for Sunday Night Football. If anybody's there in the comments, I would love to know, who do you have winning in this Sunday night matchup? Everybody's going to say the Chiefs. I want everybody to know that I have a upset alert. I have the New York Giants beating the Kansas City Chiefs. That's about to happen right now. You just watch. Okay? That's a hot take, I know. I get it. But you're telling me if the Browns could beat the Packers, the Giants can't beat the Chiefs? Now, is that a equivocation, false analogy, fallacy? Maybe. But it's still a question. I would love an answer. All right. But make sure, again, guys, like this video, please. Please. Subscribe to our channel. It really does much of a service. I will beg for it if you want. I will give you a shout out. I will send you $1. I've done that 3 times already. I'm out $3 because I sent somebody $1 to subscribe. They didn't watch football. I said, I'll send you $1. And they did. And they're still subscribed. I'll do it. But can you just do it with the kindness of your heart? Wednesday, 7:40 p.m. Join us as we do our live football podcast with all the segments for week 3, some segments looking towards week 4, and all that good stuff. I want to see you in the comments. I want to see what you're thinking. I want to see questions. I want to see all of that because we do interact with the people. This is the people's debate, and that's what we stand for. We're for the people, by the people. I forgot. I think I said that wrong. Whatever. I don't care. Be here, please. Wednesday night, 7:40 p.m. All love. And I'll see you later.